were there more babies being born? Were there more children coming in? There was a lot of child-related stuff, autism. Were we doing enough things around that to help to keep the stop loss from hitting its max or hitting the
Got it. And stop loss. That's a new term for me.
Oh, I don't know what you might call it, something else, but whenever we had a self-insured program, so our stop loss initially was when an individual's claim hit 75,000, then it went into an insured program, right?
Okay.
To protect us. So it would stop our losses.
Got it.
Yeah. And so you pay a premium for that, and that premium can jump really high if all of a sudden you exceed your projections.
Got it.
I think one year we had 8 instances that went way over. Thank God we had stop loss.
Got it. So yeah, I could see how more babies being born, especially if, they're
children
preemies or something like that. Yeah. Yes. Autism. You mentioned a couple others that kind of would trigger that stop loss.
There was a couple of cancer situations that were very kind of those types of cancers that hardly anybody gets. There's not really any known treatments. They're all experimental. So there was a couple of those as well.
Got it. What about some of the less, I'd say maybe like dramatic, serious types of things like, oh gosh, I'm just thinking like chronic conditions we all hear about, like hypertension, high cholesterol, stuff like that that can be a warning sign of things going bad. Did you ever look at that stuff?
We actually looked at some of those numbers before we started our intentional wellness program. And I say intentional because every program seems to have bits and pieces that they can call wellness. But when we actually said we are putting in the wellness program, we need some measuring points. So we looked at any of the data that we could get, blind data, on our workforce. And most of that comes actually through the type of provider and then, of course, prescription drugs is such a tell-all.
Okay.
So we use those numbers to see as our benchmark, were we having any reductions or changes? And unfortunately, I hate to admit this, it was all over the board, and it was still all over the board by the time I left.
Got it.
But I can tell you the employees were happy about all the programs.
Okay. What were some of the programs you put in place, the healthy bistro, the free healthy food, all of that stuff, was that to try to address some of those more kind of chronic things, or was that just more generally, let's try to get everybody healthy?
It was a yes and yes, and also for part of our new culture that we were trying to develop. So a big part of it was retention, but the way it was sold to the board was reducing costs related to healthcare for, an unhealthy workforce.
Hmm. And you mentioned the new culture you were trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
So we were keeping the pieces that we wanted to keep, and then we were adding to it, which was more of an employee-focused workforce, that we genuinely care about our employees. We want to have fun at work. We are family. We actually always had the family feel to the organization, but we had grown so much and through so many acquisitions that it wasn't consistent anymore. So this was now a big campaign to say, not only we are family, these are the things we're doing because we take care of our employees. We really do care about you. Oh, our employees did not pay any premiums, by the way. They only paid premiums for their family if they had them on the plan. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was things like that. And that was being done before I got there, but nobody was talking about it, right? Nobody realized what a benefit this is next to other companies, because most companies just don't do that. And they still do it. Even through the downturn, we continue to do it. And even through the downturn, we continue to have the bistro. Oil and gas took a huge hit a couple of years ago. So, yeah. So it was a lot of that culture was there were pieces that we were doing and people automatically associated with, and then there were pieces that we were doing but nobody was talking about it. So we started to talk about it more and show these are the things that we do so that people could get behind it, and it kind of strengthened the points that we wanted to carry on, and we started to drop the pieces that we wanted to drop.
Got it. So, and
we also had a pretty extensive employee assistance program, and that was global. We did a global employee assistance program. That's not required. And a lot of times when you have a government contract, you have to have